Hello class 6 students. Today I will talk about estimation, which will cover your exercise 1.3 in your NCERT book of mathematics. So let's get started. So before you actually talk about estimation, you need to first understand what rounding off is. And rounding off is something that you studied in your previous class, class 5. And where do you need estimation? So suppose I don't want an exact calculation, I just want an approximate number as to how many people were present in the stadium, how many people were traveling by train, then you use estimation. So it is done to make the calculation simple and give us an approximate value of the value which we are actually looking for. So here they start off with an example. Now you need to understand that you can round off your numbers to various places. So if you go back, I can have thousands, I can have hundreds, I can have tens, ones. So I can round off into any of these places depending on the numbers. So if I want to round off to the thousands, I will actually look at the hundreds number. If I want to round off at the 10 hundreds place, then I will look at this number. If I want to round off at this place, then I'll look at this number. So this is how we generally do. And the thumb rule is that anything, if my number digit that I'm looking at is less than 5, then you don't add any value here. So nothing is added and you just approximate it to the lesser value. If it is greater than or equal to 5, obviously it will be less than 9 because it is a digit. Then you add plus 1. What I mean to say is, suppose I have 59 here. Then this is 9. So this digit is greater than 5. I will add a plus 1 value to this tens digit and approximate it to 60 rather than approximating it to 50. And this is logical also because difference between 50 and 59 is of 9 and this is just 1. So you know that this is closer. Similarly, if I have something like 54, if I want to round it off to the tens place, I will round it off to 50 because this is 4 here and 4 is less than 5. Now if you look at the distance, this is a difference of 4. If I go from 50 to this, and if I had gone to 60, I would have actually had a difference of 6 here. So I know that this particular number is closer. With 55, it's a confusion because both the distances to 50 and 60 are of 5 each. Generally what we do is we round it off to the bigger value. That's a convention that we use. So you have to remember this convention when you're rounding off. So with this you can simply say that all these numbers, so 261 to 264 will be rounded off to 260 when I'm talking about the tens place, and all these numbers 265 to 269 will be rounded off to 270 when we are talking about tens place, nearest tens. So let's do this. So you know that nearest tens, so 215 would be how much? So this is 5, so this will become 220. So 99 would become obviously 100. So you just try for yourself. Over here, it's simply when you're rounding off to tens, you will just look at the ones value and then change the tens value accordingly. Now estimating to the nearest hundreds. Now hundreds, if you look at, then I will start looking at the tens place. So suppose I have a number here, 168. Now at the hundreds place I want to round off. So I have to look at these digits here and actually this particular digit. So this is again greater than 5. So I will add 1. So I will approximate it to 200. If I look at the other option I have 100. So this is 68 difference and this is how much? 32 difference. So obviously this is closer and this is the correct estimate. So this is how you do estimation in the hundreds place. So for this, what will you do? You will just look at this value here, 37. So 3 is here. So you know that 3 is closer to 0. So this will become 9500. So simply whenever you are looking at the hundreds round off, you will see the tens place and decide the rounding off. So tens place here is 4. This will be 800. And you will nullify all the other values. Ones and everything will be completely lost. So for looking at this 46 is again closer to 0. 4 is closer to 0. So I will just put it to 2500 here. So this is how you have to do the approximation in the nearest hundreds. Now while coming off to nearest thousands, you will look at the hundreds value. So looking at this in a similar fashion, hundreds place is 5. So I will change this by 1 because 5 is By convention, we add 1 to the next place. So this will become 3000. For this, it will become 0. So this will become 6000. For this is again greater than 5. So it will come here 8000. Oh, yeah, this should be 8000. So this is wrong over here in your book. This should be 8000. Okay, so the question is that you have to check rounding off is correct or not. So this one is wrong. This one is wrong because this is 5. So this should have 54,000. And you can check all these. So let's do this. So rounding off at tens value. So I will look at this value. So this is greater than 5. So the answer will be 75850. For hundreds, I will look at tens place. So the value will be 75800. For thousands, I will look at this. This is greater than 5. So it will be 76000. For 10,000, I will look at this value. So this will become 80,000. So this is how you do approximation. Now coming on to estimation. So in estimation, you are not told that you have to round off to thousands or hundreds. You just have to estimate and find out the best possible solution. So like they say, there are no rigid rules when you want to estimate the outcome of numbers. It depends on the degree of accuracy that is required and the time which is needed to do the calculations. So suppose I want to do the estimation of adding these two numbers, 5290 and 17986. Now by experience, you will understand that, see, here if I approximate it to 1000, it will be easier because it will give me a 5000 value. Here also, if I approximate it to 1000, it will give me 18,000. The problem becomes very easy. 18,000 plus 5,000 is 23,000. This is the value. I could have done the approximation in a different manner. If I say I want to approximate it to hundreds, this would be 5300 plus 1. So this will again be 18,000. So that could also have been done, but here the calculation becomes simpler using rounding off to 1000. Now let's do this. So here 5673 minus 436. Now if I approximate it to 1000, then this will become 6000 and this will become 0. So it loses its value completely. So that's not a good way of estimation because this number is completely nullified. So that is why what will I do? I will approximate it to hundreds and this will become 5700 and this will become 400. Then my calculation is also easy and the value that I get is closer to the actual value. Now for products, so 19 into 78, it will be a good idea to approximate it to tens place. So 20 into 80 should be good. So let's look at this exercise and try to solve a few problems here. So to do this approximation, I could change it to 13,000 plus 3,000. This will give me 16,000. The other value which I could have got was 12,900 plus 2,900. So this is the other calculation which could have been done. But this calculation seems easy and the value is also close to the actual value. So I will go with this one. Here if you want to do the approximation, how will the calculations become easy? If I round it off to this place, the calculation becomes easy. Over here also I can round off to this place. So what will I say? I will say 5300 because I am rounding off to hundreds place. So I'll look at the tens value here. Over here also the same thing. So this will become 3500. Now this calculation is very easy and I can do it. Over here I could approximate this to the thousands value. So this will become 10900. So let's try this. 109,000. If I round it off to the thousands place. For the thousands place, I will look here and this will become 48,000. So this also is easy to do. So the idea for approximation is that you need to estimate it by using rounding off to any of the digits possible. But the idea is to make the calculations easy also. And then we should not be trading off the actual result by too much. So I hope you'll be able to solve this exercise. I will see you in the next class.